Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glaze a little bit of red along the border here, just to add a little bit more of a focal point. And I'm going to use naphthol red, which is similar to a cadmium red, but it's more transparent. So in this case it'll be a fairly subtle glaze just in this one area, and then I'll kind of blend it down in here. Now I don't want to go too far with this because this is a late summer scene, and I don't want to make it look, you know, autumnal, but I could quickly see that it was too red. So that's typical of me. So this area is starting to look pretty rich here, and this now looks comparatively dull, so I'm going to add just a little bit of blue in there, and that'll make those shadows be really rich back in there. I can glaze the top of these nice and cool because you know, they're evergreens for one thing, but the tops will be a little bit cooler than the bottoms because of the reflected light. Now when I want a glaze to go on real light and feathered on one side, I'll tend to put some of this flex gel down first. Either that or G-gel or something like that. So I'll have something that I can blend into and feather. I mean, with oils it's easy to feather the edge anyway, but this makes it even easier. So, and for this I'm adding a little bit of andanthrone blue on my palette. It's a little grayer than ultramarine blue, and I'll probably add some, like a number 5 gray into that, just a hair. I added just a little bit of Mars Violet into that too. I want this to be really, really subtle, so there's just a little bit of a halo around that shadow, so I'm going to take that off if I can. That looks a little better. Okay, so I do like my purples that I put into here, but I still think maybe I could use a little bit more contrast, so I'm going to add some transparent orange into the yellow there. Very, very subtle. And keep the color very, very pure and clean. And it should work pretty good. Whoops. Too much orange. So I just clean my brush out and just kind of spread that around a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it's working good. I think a little bit of orange right on that I think would be good. And in the focal point there, where that bend turns, that's where your eye kind of is drawn to. I think maybe a little bit of orange will be good in there too. Be careful I don't get it on that blue because that'll turn that green. So. I'll definitely want to step back on this. I've got to make sure this is right. If it's not right, I just take some mineral spirits and just wipe that right off. It's one of the advantages of oils over acrylic, that's for sure. It's your time you have to decide if a glaze is working or not, which is nice. Yeah, I've decided that I took that way too far, so I need to take most of that off. Unless I use the mineral spirits, it'll leave just a little bit down in the crevices of the paint, and so I can just kind of burnish this off. I think that ought to do it, but I've really got to be careful with that color. It can be too much. Subtlety is always preferable.